Tell me everything I need to know about encrypted backups. Hello and welcome to iPhone Black and White, video series dedicated to help anybody become an iPhone expert, even you. Okay, so this video is not going to be anywhere near as long as my previous two videos about privacy and data. This one we are going to be looking at encrypted backups and whether this is a good idea or a bad idea. There's a ton of information that I do not think would be particularly relevant to everybody who would want to be watching this video to kind of get an overview. So we're not going to go like super in depth about all the encrypted data, etc., but we're going to do a quick overview of everything, and I'm going to give you my opinion on whether or not this is something that you should either do or something you should even worry about. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so to answer really just the first question is, what is encrypted data? And we're actually going to take a look at this, but the first thing that you've got to really wrap your brain around when you're talking about making encrypted backups is there's two ways for you to make your backup, which we've already covered in another video about how to back up your phone or your iPad, either to the iCloud or secondly to back up to the computer. Now, for the majority of what we're going to talk about in this video when talking about making your encrypted backups, this is going to be in relation to the computer, okay? So we'll discuss the iCloud as well, but the first part of this is going to focus on the computer. Now, I've already given you my opinion. I think it is a much better and a much wiser decision to make backups of your phone or your iPad to the iCloud rather than the computer, because you can just run into a bunch of problems. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't back up to the computer. If you want to use that as kind of a fail-safe, that's fine. At the end of the day, it's just really do whatever you think is going to be best. If you want to save money and not buy space in the iCloud, then yeah, okay, well, make sure you're still making your backup. Just back up to the computer. But just be really careful, because when you're talking about encrypted data, this is where it gets really kind of tricky. So let's go ahead and take a look at our first article here. Okay, so first article is about encrypted backups on your iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch. We're pulling this from support.apple.com. So, like I said, we're going to give just kind of a quick overview here. So it says, when you encrypt the backups for your iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch, the encrypt backup feature in the Finder or iTunes locks and encodes your information. Encrypted backups can include information that unencrypted backups don't. So for example, your saved passwords, Wi-Fi settings, website history, health data, and call history. Encrypted backups don't include Face ID, Touch ID, or device passcode data. So just remember that this is talking about the encrypted backup feature in Finder or iTunes. So to break that down into normal English, what this is talking about is if you make a backup to your Mac, or if you're making a backup of your phone using the your PC. And in order to make a backup of your phone on your PC for a Windows computer, you're not going to use Finder, you're going to use the program iTunes. Encrypted backup don't include blah blah blah. I already read that. Okay, so your backup isn't encrypted by default. To encrypt a backup, you have, for the first time, turn on password protected encrypt backup option. Backups for your device will automatically be encrypted from then on. And this, guys, is where it gets a little bit tricky. Okay, so let's give a real life example of like what somebody is going to end up facing. So-and-so says, you know, I'm going to save money. I'm not going to make backups to the iCloud. I'm going to back up to the computer. And yeah, of course, I want to be more safe. I want to encrypt all of my data for my backup. And I'm going to make this password. Well, guess what? If you make your encrypted backup, it's going to ask you one time to create a password. If you forget that password at any point, it gets lost, you can't remember it, then you're done. you are never going to be able to get those backups. So if you've made encrypted backups and you keep making your backups, and remember something, it's only going to ask you for that password the first time that you make it. So once you make it, from then on, if you back up your phone to the computer, it's just automatically going to encrypt all of your backups. So if all of a sudden a year goes by and you drop your phone and it breaks and you're like, okay, no big deal, I've got backups on my computer. Oh no, I have forgotten my password. Well, surely Apple will be able to help me get my password back. Wrong. They're not going to be able to do that. That password is stored only on your computer. Apple has no record of it. They have no way at all to help you actually reset that password. They don't know what it is, they can't get it back, so you are basically up a creek at this point. All of your encrypted backups, they're done, they're gone, and there's nothing you can do about it unless you remember what that backup is or what that password is. There's nothing else that Apple is going to be able to do. So this is why I'm of the opinion that if you're going to make backups of your phone, if you want to make encrypted backups, just make sure that you make a password that you are not going to forget, or even better, have it written down and have it in a very safe place so that you can easily get it back. Because it has happened to more than a few people, I'm sure, where they just completely forget their encrypted backup password and there is nothing anyone can do to help them. Okay, the next article I just wanted to list here is how to back up your iPhone, iPad. I've listed this before, but I just wanted to go ahead and put it in here again, so I will link this. And this again will give you step-by-step instructions on how to make a backup to your computer, or even to back up to the iCloud. Okay, so why am I of the opinion that you should be using the iCloud instead? Well, number one, your information is going to be a whole lot safer. It's a whole lot easier to get into. You don't have an encrypted password in order to use your iCloud backups because it's already done for you. So really quickly, we're just going to look at iCloud Security Overview. This, again, I will link. It's kind of good for you guys to be able just to open this up and take a gander. This is, you can kind of see here, we're going to go through this chart here, but why I was saying there's a ton of information about encrypted backups and why we're not going to go piece by piece through everything. But like it says here, here's more detail on how iCloud protects your data. So here's the data, so your backup, Safari, calendars, etc., encryption. Now what this is saying is in transit, so this means when you're backing up to the iCloud and you're sending that data over like a Wi-Fi signal or a cellular signal, it's actually encrypted. So in transit, that's what that's talking about. And then when it's actually on the iCloud server. So let's say that there was a huge data breach and there was a group of hackers who were able to actually hack into the iCloud servers. It wouldn't make any difference because even if they got onto the servers, your data that's on the server, it's encrypted to begin with, so they would have no way of being able to get that information. Even if they were able to get onto the iCloud servers, they still couldn't get into any of your information. That's why, to me, it's a no-brainer, guys, on if you want your information to stay safe, just use the iCloud for your backups. It's a lot simpler, it's a lot easier, and your data is safe. So, like I said, there's a ton of information here. Now, like it's saying, the one thing to kind of point out here is mail. Your email would not be encrypted. Now, remember, this is talking about mail, iCloud email. iCloud email would not be encrypted. That's all that's talking about. Now, in transit and backing it up, it would be encrypted, but it wouldn't be encrypted. So theoretically, if somebody, and it's incredibly unlikely that anyone would ever be able to hack into the iCloud servers, the only thing that they would even remotely be able to get is your email, and that's only talking about iCloud email because that's the only email that's getting backed up to the iCloud servers. So moving on, end-to-end encrypted data. End-to-end encryption provides the highest level of data security. Your data is protected with a key derived from information. You don't need to know that key. That key is just automatically put in. It's what's used with your device passcode. So when you actually are accessing your information that is being stored in the iCloud, the key that unlocks everything is connected with the passcode on your device. And as long as you're the only person who knows that passcode, then no one else can get into the end-to-end encrypted data. And this is everything that it's talking about end-to-end. And just remember, guys, end-to-end is, in layman's terms, it just means when I'm sending data, you know, I'm sending it from my phone to the iCloud server. It's in essence talking about in transit to an extent, but really what it's saying is from your once it leaves your device and it gets to where the destination, everything is going to be encrypted. No one has any way to actually decipher the information that's being sent. So that, just think of it that way. That's the layman way of kind of explaining end-to-end here. And everything else that it's talking about here, health data, two-factor, stuff that we've already talked about in the past. So not going to go through that again. But again, I will link this article. It's definitely worth reading over. And again, the last article that I'm going to be listing here is from the support.apple, the guide, the user guide. This is about encrypted data. Again, not going to read through all this. You can go ahead and pause this right here if you want to read through this, or click on the link that I will attach in the video, so you would be able to kind of read this at your leisure. All right, so we've kind of done everything that we need to do in talking about looking the encrypted data, you know, what data is actually being stored, how it's being stored, and kind of the do's and don'ts of making an encrypted backup onto your computer. And at the end of the day, guys, it just depends on how tech savvy you really are. If you are looking for simplicity, then you can take my advice with a grain of salt with whatever it is that you want to do. But I, in all honesty, for those people out there who just want the simplest way to make sure that you're backing up and also that your information is encrypted and that it's safe, the easiest way to do this is to just make backups to the iCloud. Again, guys, it's like 99 cents to get 50 gigabytes of space, which for most people, it's more than enough. It's just the simplest, easiest way to do it, and you can rest assured that your data is being safe when it's being stored to the iCloud, and then it's safe once it's actually stored on the iCloud. So in my opinion, guys, this is just a no-brainer. If you're more tech savvy, then hey, knock yourself out, make backups to your computer, but just be advised, if you're going to do that, good Lord in heaven, do not lose your encrypted password, because without it, you're sunk. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope that this made sense. Feel free to go back, watch it again, try to understand anything that you weren't 100% clear on. And as always, make sure that if you're really confused, you want to open up the articles that I'm attaching to these videos, read it for yourself. So with that being said, thanks so much, guys, and don't forget, hit like, hit subscribe, come on back, learn how to become an iPhone expert, and don't forget to send this video to your friends and family so I can turn them into experts too. Thanks so much, guys. We will catch you next time. See ya.